like it's got, the car has a sexy ass. I've been looking at like details of the car, but I think really it's the silhouette that's the most sexiest thing about this car. So I think if I can represent that somehow in every single print, then I'll have done my job. If you listened to to Adrian at the BMW factory, he basically gave me all the, without him really knowing it, he told me everything that I needed to know. Generally, you know, I'm trying to think of the ideas myself. You know, like if I'm not working for a client, if I'm doing personal stuff, I have to sit here and look out my window and see leaves being swirled around in a like little you know, little wind tunnel in my backyard, and oh, I wonder if I could program that. I wonder if I could program that movement and then map my artwork to this. You know, so I'm having to think these things myself. But he actually told me all the concepts and all the parameters because he's doing those same things with metal. I'm going to do the same thing with ones and zeros.
This car is sort of put together of curves and cuts.
Yeah.
It's not all fluid all around.
Right.
In our mind, you see the line coming into the body side, that's a real cut. And then there's a shoulder line that flows into the door handle, then stops.
I tried to ask him about concepts of the car, and he's, you know, it was about this play of light, about how certain, it was the first thing he mentioned was that everything was a hard line.
One thing is it has sharp lines. That's probably the first thing that you notice. That is not necessarily new to BMW, but what is very new is that there is surface twist. This is a horizontal surface with a little hollow right here.
Yeah.
Then it twists all the way. Now it's a vertical surface or near vertical surface.
Right.
Then it twists back up into horizontal.
But then he also said that it was also about how you tilt these hard lines so that some become shadow and some become highlight.
I mean, this line, for example, here the surface is positive, then there's a little hollow that develops and creates a little shadow, and then it runs out again.
Right.
It's positive again.
He also talked about that some of these hard lines would start and then stop, and then they would continue, but they would continue with a very, very subtle fold so that it would actually look like the line was behind fabric.
This line seems to disappear, but it shines through, through the body. So sometimes, you know, we were inspired here by, let's say, cloth. When you put cloth over something hard, sometimes it shines through.
Absolutely. You know, you take something as an idea, as a starting point of inspiration, and then you create something completely new out of it. That's what I'm hoping to do with this, is sit in with this car and then try to make something that's inspired by spending time with this car. My process is dynamic or generative, which is I'm writing programs that dictate the canvas, the paints, the brushes, the strokes, the rules, the boundaries. You can go here, you can't go here, you can do this, you can do that, if you hit this, do that. You know, so I'm creating all these rules, but what happens is that the canvas is different every time. So initially, I just worked out this little system that is constantly trying to do these spirals, because I want to get that spiral feeling that happens in that front part of the car. Now, if I take this and stop the animation, it's going to run here for a few seconds. So right now this program's thinking, and then it says, okay, let's stop the animation, but let me show you what happens when you actually map like a circle to this system, okay? And again, every time I rerun the system, I'm going to get a different, it's going to think about the animation and then map all the artwork to a completely different system.
That's cool.
Now, what happens when I take a file like this, for example, and I take like the front part of the car, right? You can see there's the front wheel well, there's the, okay? And if I come up to the system here, and let's just map that front fender. It's going to map to that same exact program, but that's the front fender of the car.
BMW itself has a long history of supporting the arts. And Joshua really gives us the opportunity to take a completely new direction on this. He's obviously got some very innovative techniques that he is using to create art.
And this is something that BMW started doing very early on, when BMW was still a very small company. And namely give one of their cars to an artist and let them do whatever they wanted to do with it. So it's always been part of BMW's makeup that something out of the ordinary like that, something experimentational, something that would mean taking risk, was allowed.
So I really enjoyed my conversation with Adrian, because I liked a lot of his concepts behind how the car was actually created. You know, so a lot of these lines and trying to make things look like behind fabric. I mean, like trying to take concepts outside of making a car to make a car is very much what my work is about.